I'll explain to you exactly, and bi'idhnillahi ta'ala you'll understand the relationship of this Ayatul Kursi to the ayat before and the ayat after it. Incredible, something really amazing. Before Ayatul Kursi, Allah Azza wa Jal encouraged the believers to give in charity and to donate. He said, يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة والكافرون هم الظالمون. Allah Azza wa Jal, He addressed the believers. He said, O you who have believed, spend from that which we have provided for you before a day comes in which there will be no exchange, because there's no money on that day. وَلَا خُلَّةٍ, and there is no friendship. None of your friends will benefit you on that day. وَلَا شَفَاعَةٍ, and there is no intercession for anyone at all, except whoever Allah Azza wa Jal gave permission for. And the disbelievers are the wrongdoers. So this ayah, Allah is encouraging us. Give us sadaqah. Next ayah is Ayatul Kursi. Ayatul Kursi speaks about Allah Azza wa Jal. The entire message of Ayatul Kursi is information about Allah, nothing else. And it has 5 of His names in it. Allah, Al-Hayy, Al-Qayyum, Al-Ali, Al-Azim. Then there are a couple of ayat that come after that. There's about 3 stories that come after Ayatul Kursi that prove that Allah is Al-Hayy. And that is the story of Ibrahim and An-Namrud. Remember Namrud, he said, Ana uhyi wa umit, I bring life and I cause death. Then Ibrahim said to him, my Lord is the one who causes life and death, and that argument. And then the story after that, about the man who passed by a town and it was all ruined, and then Allah Azza wa Jal caused him to die 100 years and then He resurrected him. And then the story after this, Ibrahim alayhi salam and the 4 birds, and how he chops them up and puts them on the mountain, and then they are resurrected and come back to him alive. And then after this, the topic of charity continues. Allah Azza wa Jal says, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ حَبَّةٍ أَنْبَتَتْ سَبْعَ سَنَابِلَ. Allahu Akbar. Even there is a secret here. There is some wisdom here we need to understand. The first part, Allah Azza wa Jal commands the believers to give in charity. Then Ayatul Kursi. Then stories that Allah is truly Al-Hayy and He's the only one who gives life. And then we're back to the charity topic. So, giving charity, then there's a discontinuation from the topic of charity for 6 ayat, and then the topic of charity continues. What is this? What is the relationship? How do we understand this? Listen to me very carefully. We'll repeat this once, and I hope bi'ithnillah it sticks in your mind for the rest of your life. Look at this. When Allah Azza wa Jal commanded us to give in charity, anfiqu, He discontinued this topic of charity, and then 6 ayat came. And these ayat, Allah gave us in these ayat the greatest encouragement as to why we should give in charity. Yani, what is the greatest and the biggest motivation and encouragement for why we as believers give sadaqah and give in charity? What makes the believer spend in charity from that which he loves? This is not limited to money. This could be giving your time, your effort, the knowledge, all forms of giving. And giving is to give and you don't expect anything in return. What is the greatest motivation for a believer to continue giving and continue implementing Allah's command, أنفقوا مما رزقناكم? It is only one answer, and that is the believers continuously give because of their belief in Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum, and because of their belief that they will meet Allah after their death, which is the ayat that mentioned of resurrection and how people will be raised after their death. And this is why in Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam he said, as-sadaqatu burhan. The sadaqah, the charity you give is a proof. But it's a proof of what? It's a proof that you believe Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. This is what it's a proof of. It is a proof that you want Allah and you desire what is with Allah Azza wa Jal, and that you have detached yourself from the luxuries of this world. Wallah, my brothers and sisters in Islam, the one who is in doubt concerning Allah and the one who is in doubt concerning the afterlife will not give. He will not give. Only someone who knows Allah and believes in Allah and knows that Allah is Al-Hayyul Qayyum, لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم. All the way until this ayah, you believe in these qualities about Allah. Such a person will continuously give without fear of poverty. And so I ask you a question. Who from among mankind knew Allah the most? Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is why he was described as يُعْطِي عَطَاءً مَنْ لَا يَخْشَى الْفَقْرِ. He used to give the giving of the one who would never ever fear poverty at all. You would see Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and you'd say, isn't he worried that he will go broke one day? Isn't he? You would say that about him. يعني كان أجود بالخير من الريح المرسلة. He was more generous than an uncontrollable wind. You know the uncontrollable wind? You know when the wind blows, it does not leave anything in its path except that it touches the trees, the people, the houses, the sand, the rocks, anything, it touches it. When Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam was more generous than that, what does that mean? Meaning his sadaqah, each and every single person in the community would see the goodness of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and the giving of the Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The old, the young, the children, the poor, the rich, the widow, the orphan, everyone would have something from the generosity of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Why? The more you know Allah, the more you know Ayatul Kursi, the more you will be giving and giving fi sabilillah. Allahu Akbar. And we said Ayatul Kursi is the greatest ayah in the Quran. You know what that means? Meaning there is nothing on earth that will ever teach you about Allah Azza wa Jal better than this ayah. This is the ayah from now until the day of judgment. The best information about Allah, the greatest information that you will ever hear about Allah is in Ayatul Kursi. Nothing else is better than that. Allahu Akbar. So look at this beautiful transition of the ayat. You understood now? Give in charity, Allah says. What is the greatest motivation and encouragement? Because Allahu la ilaha illa huwa al-hayyul qayyum. You remember Allah, that's going to encourage you. Then comes the ayat that Allah is going to give life after death, which implies that you've given in charity, then you've died, so you'll be resurrected and you'll stand before Allah Azza wa Jal. And when you stand before Allah Azza wa Jal, what is the result? What's going to happen? I told you that the ayat of charity continue. What's the first ayah when the charity topic continues? Allah Azza wa Jal said, مَثَلُ الَّذِينَ يُنْفِقُونَ أَمْوَالَهُمْ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ كَمَثَلِ حَبَّةٍ أَنْبَتَتْ سَبْعَ سَنَابِلٍ فِي كُلِّ سُنْبُلَةٍ مِئَةُ حَبَّةٍ. Allah is speaking about the type of reward He will give you when you meet Him, subhanahu wa ta'ala. The ayah is saying, Allah Azza wa Jal is saying, the example of those who give money or those who donate and give charity fi sabilillah is the example of a habba. What is a habba? A seed. A seed. كمثل حبة أنبتت سبع سنابل. What does that mean? Anyone know? يعني this is one seed. We put it in the earth. We water it. As a result, a plant grows and 7 spikes grow. These things that come, the little branches that have the greens on it, they're called spikes or eaves. 7 of them grow, and on each one there is mi'atu habba. There is 100 greens. 100 greens. So what does that mean? Meaning that seed you put in the earth was that sadaqah you put, that sadaqah you gave. On the day of judgment it multiplied. It became 7. And each one of the 7 carried 100. That's 700. Each sadaqah you give is multiplied by 700 times. Allahu Akbar. And then the ayah would say, Wallahu yudha'ifu liman yasha. And Allah Azza wa Jal, He multiplies for whoever He wills, how much He wills. Allahu Akbar. Incredible ayat, beautiful ayat.